Hello, everyone. We are live on Facebook. Renee Funk with eXp Realty, and I have some awesome special guests today. Okay, I'm very excited. Dan Tanin.
Hey, good morning.
I would love for you to introduce our very special guest today.
Well, thank you, Renee. We're excited too. We've known Rob West for many years, both as friends and in the industry. So we're super excited to actually kind of join up and be under the same umbrella, the same home with eXp Realty. So good morning. We've got Rob West with us today, and we'll let you take it from there.
Welcome, Rob.
Thank you. Thank you. Excited to be here.
Welcome to the family, as we say.
That's awesome. I appreciate it.
So I like starting off with just, for those who may not know you, which I know a lot of people know Rob West, but tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I am first and foremost a father of three amazing kids, and very, very proud of that. I've been in real estate for, over 17 years. I started when I was 22 years old in 2002. I've been with a few companies. I started out with a very small brokerage with a close friend of mine named Stacy, who took me under her wing when I was a baby in my career and showed me the ropes, got me up and going. I later joined Remax with the Acker Group and had a great run there as well. Found my way over to Keller Williams Realty, where I really expanded my career a lot. Ended up ultimately getting into leadership with Keller Williams Realty, where I became a team leader for a couple of years. And so I oversaw an office in Hunters Creek and helped open their Soto office near downtown, and really, really enjoyed that part of my career path. After doing that for a couple of years, I ended up actually going and selling on the beach for a small period of time because I, at that point, had thought I wanted to go live on the beach. But my business here, this is back in around 13, my business here started calling me back. A lot of my past clients were reaching out, and so I relaunched my business and my team here in Orlando. Had a partner. We opened up a brokerage eventually called Orlando Home Team Realty. Did that for a number of years, and recently have just come back to being an individual agent at the beginning of this year. Kind of honestly just taking it back to basics. I went back to being a single agent for the first time in, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And so I'm kind of starting from the ground up again, just by virtue of wanting to kind of do it a little bit differently this time, work on some different things in my career and my business. And honestly, I just needed a small little break from the monotony of being a manager and a team owner and a brokerage owner and all those types of things. So kind of excited about being back on the ground level with the way the market is and the way things are. And of course, now joining forces with one of the most powerful companies out there, eXp Realty.
We are so super excited to have you. And you just taught me something new. So although Dan and Tanin and you and I have met a few times, in communication over the last few months, what's really interesting, I didn't know you sold on the beach too. So you have a really well-rounded background.
Yeah, I've done a lot of things. I've even sold new homes for a very short time. I've done a lot of things. There was a period when I stepped down from being a team leader, I really wanted to find my way. And I did new homes for a short slow stint, but it was an awesome experience with an awesome company in my homes. And then I went over to the beach and I worked right directly under Ron Wysockarski, who was an amazing mentor to me. Really showed me a lot about beachside living. I mean, he's one of the best over there on the beachside for sure. And really enjoyed that portion of my career as well. Because again, I have a true passion for the East Coast beach, especially New Smyrna Beach. I'm there all the time. So anyways, it was a fun part of my career. I really enjoyed it. And actually that's going to be part of my business plan this year and moving forward, is being over there more often.
Well, you have the ease now with the eXp Realty, is you can very easily be a part of multiple MLSs. I mean,
that was a major factor of the decision for sure.
Yeah. So what originally was the most exciting component with eXp Realty that drew you to consider joining?
So being a part of some of the largest franchise real estate companies out there, I feel like and also being in leadership and a recruiter for Keller Williams, I really feel like I have a good handle on what value propositions each company offers. And I think every company out there has a significant value proposition to their agents and what there is to offer. All that being said, I feel like eXp definitely has the most innovative, value proposition to their agents and what there is to offer. All that being said, I feel like eXp definitely has the most innovative, value proposition to their agents and what there is to offer. All that being said, I feel like eXp definitely has the most innovative, value proposition to their agents and what there is to offer. All that being said, approach to the value proposition being that, number one, it's 100% cloud-based. That's a big attractor for me because, like I said, being someone that was in the office every single day, I mean, I was beating my chest hard about, you have to be in the office every single day. Everything has to be. I wouldn't even hire an assistant that would not work from the office. If they wanted to work from home, I didn't even consider them. Whereas my mentality has totally shifted today. Like I realize that we're in more of a remotely based lifestyle. I mean, everything, all the major businesses are being done remotely. So that's an attractor. And then the fact that the company actually gives you ownership, that's really, really cool. I always talk about my team leader position because truth be told, in my career, it was probably one of the most career-wise satisfying positions I ever held because I got a chance to really, really be close with my agents. I got to teach and mentor, which is my absolute favorite thing in the entire world. If I could just do one thing, it would be teach, mentor, coach, guide, lead, those things versus selling. So when I look at eXp as a company and I see that there is benefit for me to help other agents grow their business, latch alongside of them in their journey, and it mutually benefits us both, that's a huge opportunity for me in my personal growth, as well as spiritually. It kind of enriches me and makes me feel better because I'm able to help people and I don't have to worry about them personally compensating me. The company itself, virtually compensates me for that. So it gives me an opportunity there as well. And then thirdly, obviously the technology and stuff is awesome because I was utilizing the same tools, paying for them as a business owner, and being able to kind of come into this company where I'm going to have those tools at a higher level. And also the camaraderie around it. Being that we had, my business partner and I had our own company for a while, you get disconnected from being around a lot of people and you kind of forget what it's like. When I was at KW, I could reach out to anybody, anytime and get anything I needed. It was super easy at my fingertips. And being away from that, you kind of forget how much you depend on that after a while. So I'm really excited about having the help, the training, the guidance, the masterminds, the camaraderie I talk about a lot is so important. And overall, the culture is what I'm really excited about.
You hit on a lot of really key components. Even looking at this awesome group, I mean, having Dan and Tanin on board, when Jeff and I linked arms with Dan and Tanin, it was just like, oh my gosh, we're now business partners and we are able to collaborate at such a high level, which has just been fundamental to the shift that we see. I'm super excited that now to extend that out, Dan and Tanin have introduced you to the group and now we're in business together.
Right.
So that's really what we're seeing is, Jeff and I have been with eXp 18 months. Dan and Tanin, are you on your 5th month?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. We just started.
Yeah.
And so you've seen tremendous numbers already. I mean, we've shared. Would you share a little bit about the growth you've seen in the last 5 months?
Sure. I think we have seen a huge growth, and we weren't sure where our path was going to take us with eXp. We just knew that we were really excited to come on board, and for all those Rob hit it on the nail on the head with, all the reasons why he came on board were the exact same for us as well. And one of the big things that changed our business too was that camaraderie, that reaching out to the other agents and finding out what it is that they're doing, and they're helping us and teaching us and taking all that information and putting it to use. And we've done so far in the last 4 months, we're just a few $100,000 away from what we did the entire year last year. An entire 12 months we've done in 4 months. So
that's huge.
It is. It's very exciting for us.
I'm so excited about that. So Rob, what we're seeing time and time again, and what we have so many stories of, which lights my fire as a team leader and as somebody who I want to pour into agents, is I get up every morning and I'm like, okay, awesome. What's the next success story? How are we going to, number one, change the real estate industry? And my goal is to change the way the consumer views us. We have got to raise the bar together, right? That's number one. But number two is we get to now all collaborate together at such a high level. I call it authentic collaboration because, Rob, as you mentioned, we're all agent owners, right? We're all awarded stock in the company at different benchmarks. And so that's a mindset shift. And so talk a little bit about what you're most excited to roll out in your first few months with eXp, and what features are you super excited to get moving on?
So, well, first thing I'm going to say, I have to commend you, Renee, because already the culture is wearing off on me. Like, I'm one that used to get up like every day religiously at like 5 a.m. And I've been a little lax about that. I've gotten a little complacent in the last few months with kind of just being chill and relaxing. And I think I got like your email or something at like 5:30, and I was like, oh man, she's up. I'm gonna lead her at like 5:30 in the morning. It already is motivating me. I'm like, I gotta do this. I gotta start getting back to my my skill set. So bravo to you for rising and grinding.
There's only so many hours in the day, my friend. And so yes,
right.
it starts at 5 a.m.
That is 100% right. So I definitely admire that, and it's pushing on me for sure. So, but no, I'm a listing agent at the core. Like, I was trained by the Mike Frey organization way back in 05 and 06, or for years after that. And it really is ingrained in me, and I'm looking to build a team pretty rapidly again. Not huge, just, I want to have fun. I want to have a lot of fun with it. And so, going after listings, there is so much opportunity now with KV Core and the way that eXp allows us to advertise our listings. It really has a great ability to sync across several platforms at a high level that I couldn't get easily on my own with what I had bought as far as technology goes previously. So I'm super excited about the ability to help my sellers get more exposure, especially right now. We're in a pretty competitive market when it comes to sellers in general, albeit I know that buyers are buying. I do know for a fact that we're getting ready to run into a market where it's going to be a little more challenging to sell. So I'm really excited about the opportunities I'm going to have now as far as marketing goes, the type of marketing I can do, and at the level and at the rapid speed I can do it, which is super important too. Also, with that being said, the way that our technology attracts buyers and allows us to stay in front of those buyers more rapidly, it's going to enable me to sell more of my own listings. Last couple of years, our previous company, we had a really awesome ratio of selling about 60% of our own listings or better 2 years in a row. So I definitely want to try to keep with that percentage. But those are that's one of the really big things for me, is just having these great tools now to enable my sellers to have more opportunity to sell. And then, of course, the other piece to it is my ability now to help agents again at a high level without having to own my own coaching company or without having to implement my own training system. I've got a plug and play system for any agent out there that wants to grow their business that now I can latch alongside of their journey, alongside of their business, and kind of be their vehicle for success without having to actually take them in and make them pay me for it, which that for me is super amazing. And that's going to be two parts of my business, the sales side and then, agent leadership and growth.
So as a result of all the awesome tech that we have, I mean, if you look at eXp World and the flexibility that eXp World provides us all on how our team is seeing 100% attendance at all of our training, and I'll say nearly 100%. The nearly is if they're on vacation, they don't always come, but I will say this, there are times that we have agents on vacation and they do pop into meetings or training classes because they can do it on their phone, right? We call it virtual flexibility in the cloud campus. And so if we look at the tech piece, which allows us to work more efficiently, and we look at how we are now working less, we're working smarter, but at the same time, the trajectory of growth is skyrocketing. I mean, Dan and Tanin are one example. There's so many examples, and Rob, you're next up, by the way.
I have to be.
I know I'm sitting here with 3 icons before we know it.
Yeah.
I have you all pegged for icons very soon. I have high expectations of each of you. But it's been amazing to think about and to really see all the stories. And so, Rob, when you talk about, you really have that in your heart of coaching and training and helping other agents. That has just been what's fueling. That's the fuel in my belly of, I didn't know how to do that effectively in the past. I felt and I experienced that it was going to take years to catch up to anything that could be competitive on an education component to other companies. It would take me years and years and years. So here's the cool thing, Rob, like you says, plug and play. That's right. We have an entire education department that's available that we just hand over. And so it's you are so spot on with that.
Definitely. Yeah, and I mean, I mean, I got the email just yesterday. I mean, they send them out daily about the list of education. So I went in there, and I mean, one of them just cool little things. Like I was able to just click on the one I wanted, and then hit add to calendar, and boom, it was there. And I'm like, that is imperative because I learned early in my career to live by my calendar. Now, whether I do that or not, it's a different story. But at least it's my habit established, ingrained in my brain. So these days, if it's not on my calendar, it just doesn't. I forget it, to be honest with you. So.
Oh my gosh.
It's cool to have that.
I don't know what tomorrow is until I look at my calendar mid-afternoon today.
Yep, definitely.
So what are you most excited about your future business goals, Rob?
You know, I think over the last like 3 to 4 years, my vision in my business was to create leverage and ultimately make it that unstoppable business that doesn't necessarily need me to exist that day for it to still be successful. And I have a lot of friends out there that run teams like that. And for whatever crazy reason, I feel like I just didn't quite get to that point over the last 3 or 4 years. And so I really want to grow my business very, very quickly again, grow it a small team again, so that I can start taking more time with my kids, more time with in my personal life. I love going to the beach. I just want to be able to go have, a really flexible life and my business still operate. And I know it's going to take a little bit of time, but with the amount of experience and knowledge I have now, plus the tools and support, I'm excited that I can do that more rapidly and quickly and freely. And I'm super excited about that because that is a vision I've had for years. And I just feel like I feel like I haven't hit my own potential in that department. And that probably excites me the most right now.
Well, when you join eXp, you put the fast track, you put the gas pedal on that, right? I mean, even
sure.
talk about going to the beach. So at a recent vacation that Jeff and I took with the kids, it was a last minute planned vacation. And we looked at the calendar and said, well, the calendar's pretty open for these 4 days. Let's go. And I said, wait a minute, I have 3 classes I'm teaching in eXp world. I said, wait, I have classes, the agents are going to need me. And then I had to pause, even after 18 months, I had to pause and say to myself, that's okay, because I can do it in Mexico. It doesn't matter where I am. I can still teach those classes. So I did. And I didn't miss the beach. And I didn't miss the beach and I didn't miss a beat. How about that? So you have that flexibility, and as do each of the agents that you will continue to pour into. So pretty cool.
Definitely. I agree with you totally.
What do you love most about living in Orlando? I always have to ask this question because we live in a great city. So
man. Yeah, no, I'm born and raised in Orlando. I don't think I'll ever move. If I move, it's to New Smyrna, not out of the state, as much as I love Texas where my brother lives and stuff like that. I love, first and foremost, as much as I've said it so many times in a Zoom already, the proximity to the beach is important. Like I can be in a city, but still drive 45 minutes to my favorite beach, one of my favorite beaches in Florida. Not to mention that we've got 50 amazing beaches. I'm only 6.5, 7 hours from the Keys. I am only 8 hours from the mountains. The climate overall, I love the heat. So for me, I'm fine. I'm fine when it's 102 degrees. I don't care. It's hot. Don't get me wrong. And I drive a black vehicle, so that kind of sucks. But I do love it.
You have good hair. The humidity and Dan, sorry, I know. You're
I was gonna say that. Thanks.
Yeah, Dan's got great hair. But the best part about Dan's haircut is it never shows his grays.
Right?
So,
Jeff
I'm trying to show grays and stuff. I mean, that's what kids and businesses and relationships do to you. But yeah, so but no, I love the weather. I'm huge into boating, so I can be on my boat at December 23rd. Where other states, they're buckling down for 5 days straight of being snowed in. We'll never have that happen, fortunately. And I can just drive to it, So, I do love that aspect of it. Is it busy here? Yes. Is it transient? It's the same, we have lots of different kinds of people. Absolutely. But of all the cities I've traveled to, I think we had a pretty chill city overall. I mean, I'm excited about the growth Orlando's having. We're starting to get, especially in the past 5 years, we're getting more and more really, really cool restaurants and outdoor venues, and there's 7 or 8 different sides of town you can travel and visit, and they're all different from one another. Winter Garden is like really, really cool these days. Lake Nona has some awesome stuff. Lake Mary's got some awesome, there's just so much to do. So for that, those are some of my favorite things about Orlando in general.
I love it. I love it. And I really want to pick your brain. I would love to know your thoughts as a broker owner. You had your own brokerage before. Dig in a little bit and share with us your thoughts on seeing both sides of that coin. You owned your own brokerage.
Right.
What might appeal to a broker owner and why they might consider coming to eXp? Talk about that transition and what you think about those two roles. Definitely.
So it's funny you brought that up because a few minutes ago in my head, I was thinking there's something I wanted to mention. So I'm wearing a name badge, and I had mentioned before our Zoom here that I haven't worn a name badge in a long time. Matter of fact, I used to make fun of it a little bit, but I see the value in it now. So along with what you just asked me, when I left Remax, I was with Remax from the age of 23 to 26, 2003 to 2006. And when I left Remax, I left a lot of branding behind with me because I had literally intertwined myself with Remax. I was literally robbed from Remax. That's what people knew me as. I branded every my email, my website, everything. So when I went to KW, it was hard for the first 6 months to rebrand myself. And I swore that I would never attach my branding to a company's name because you never know where the future will take you. And also because technically that company owned it. And so, when I was at Keller Williams, I used Keller Williams branding, but I've always been able to brand my own team and have my own branding. And as a broker, egotistically, let's be honest, I loved everything had my name on it or my partner's name on it. We always had it was our stuff. Like I owned it. Right. And that was the coolest thing because when you get into real estate, I think everybody, most people at least, they say one day I'll own my own company or one day I'll have my own broker. We all say that early, whether we do it or not is different. So from a branding perspective, my new logo for my team has eXp much larger than my team name. And I'm 100% okay with that because within this company, I'm an agent owner. So I still get the feeling of ownership within the company, quite honestly, without all the headaches, which is pretty awesome, without the overhead, without the stress, without the monthly bills that are due for a brokerage. And then there comes the responsibility to your agents as well. So in touching on that, my former partner and I, we looked several times at becoming a traditional brokerage and bringing in agents. We even did consider eXp and started to come over about a year ago and pulled back just because we had some internal stuff we were working on. But as an independent broker, one of the challenges, especially in today's marketplace, more than ever, is delivering value to your agents at a level that they feel compelled to give you their money. And so when I was with KW, I would always talk about the value seesaw, right? Like, here's what you give as an agent and here's what the company gives you. And you got to make sure that you're feeling more, that you're getting more from the company than you're giving. And if you don't, that seesaw is unweighted and you're not going to be happy and you're ultimately going to leave or you're never going to come over to begin with. And, I felt like when I was with KW, I felt like we definitely delivered on that at a higher level than the agent was giving. So I felt like that it was delivered. And I think that KW still has an awesome place, and I think it's an amazing company, no question at all. I feel like the value proposition with eXp is that, and being that that we have tried to look at what it would take to build a value prop strong enough to attract agents, even at a flat fee level, it still was monotonous, challenging, all the things, right? It was like, it was going to be expensive and it was going to be hard. And all I ever got told from anybody out there is, you're never going to make money as a flat fee broker. That's just how it is. And I only know a couple of people, I watched, Joe LaRosa grow his company when I was actually, my office was below his, and I was competing with him as a recruiter. And I'm like, man, this guy's got it on fire. And today he's a huge flat fee broker, but that's an anomaly. Like that's not, he's a great businessman. He's an awesome entrepreneur. So, he's got it dialed in. And I think he just, I don't want to say he got lucky, but he just knew what he was doing. But that's one out of like 100 that, there's 100 others out there that didn't do it at that level. So eXp allows me to be an agent owner, allows me to still build a team, build agents, businesses, even if they're not on my team, and still offers me that ownership opportunity without me having to go out and find and buy all of these tools, all of the coaching and training, everything else. I don't have to worry about it. And I can be a part of that. So it essentially does make sense. And it wasn't an easy decision for me. everyone that knows me knows I looked at eXp last year, and it took me a year to even make this decision. And, some would say, oh, it's because you got rid of your company. Well, that's fine and dandy, but I could have opened a brokerage like today, no problem. And ran full speed with it at whatever. But this made more sense because everything I would do as an independent broker, I can essentially do at honestly a higher level. Like, I'm never going to get the group discount that I'm going to get that I am getting as an eXp agent versus being an independent broker. I was on Marketplace and I was like, holy crap, I can get a really good deal on these signs because they're selling them to all the eXp agents, not just me. And I'm able to get that group discounts, just little things like that. But that kind of sums up for me why it made more sense to not reopen, for example, West Realty. And again, with the ego involved, I'm a big ego guy. I like that, but it's easy. It's an easy trade-off because I'm able to still brand independently. I'm able to grow independently. And I've got a ton of support and tools, helping me out. So that, for me, it was an easy decision once I looked at it from that perspective.
I love that you shared that piece is, don't you feel, Dan and Tanin, too, that our whole career, we're really just kind of, it's this innate feeling that we're going to be an individual agent and then we should progress to a team. And then what's the next step? Open your own brokerage. But what they fail to tell you is what that actually means.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Rob hit on a great point a minute ago, and that was, with the eXp and their model and so forth, it was just a matter of once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it's hard to go back and look at anything else at that point in time for everything you've already said, the tools, the mastermind. There's so many just intricate pieces to it that just help anybody out, whether it's your first year or 20 years, 17 years, even like Rob is as well, that it's hard to not see that again. It's hard to go back and be like, well, I can go build all these things and do all these things, but I already get them all. I already got them all right here. So definitely I agree with that on that platform.
Rob, it's day one. It turns on. It's like you come on board and it's all on. Game on.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Well, and one thing I didn't even mention either is, and again, I'm always trying to show both sides of the coin, so I'm giving a true perspective. As a broker, and when I left, when I gave up our company, we shut our company down. I went over to a really good friend of mine, Andy, at Favorite Broker, and he treated me as if I was an owner of the company, and I had a really good deal over there. So I wasn't really paying out much in commission. So am I giving up commission at a slight degree? Absolutely. And for some of us, including myself, like I want to keep every penny, right? So, but there are opportunities where, number one, it's a cap, and I know because on my volume, I'm going to cap. And then number two, all of it is essentially paid back to me, which is like freaking amazing. At KW, they don't pay it back to you, but like, there's obviously a value proposition, but in this situation, I had the opportunity to get it all paid back. So it's almost like literally 100% plus ownership, plus stock. I mean, it can go on and on. Just a lot behind it. And it made the decision a lot easier for me when I was looking at the raw basics of, okay, do I want to give up commission here? Do I want to give up some money, or do I want to pocket everything and do it all myself? Once I looked at every angle of it and every aspect, and I really did the math as a business owner, not as an agent, it well more than made sense. So
it's not what something costs, it's what is the ROI, right?
Right.
And I love Glenn Sanford, our founder. He often says a statement and leads by this phrase that I love, and that is that the value proposition at eXp Realty should always be so insanely significant that it would be irresponsible to not be a part of eXp Realty. And that is at the forefront of what's leading us, is putting the agent first and asking ourselves every day how we can help each other and how we can grow each other's business. That's been my experience. It's been my experience every single day. And I think today, just having the three of you here is yet again another exciting day for us, that we've now joined arms and we are in business together. And I cannot wait for us to do a check-in even in a couple months and see where you've progressed, Rob, because you are going to soar, my friend. And
Thank you very much.
Be part of it.
And I want to add too, just knowing Rob and seeing how you do business. I used to do real estate closings. I did closings for Rob for a while, so I know he's very hands-on as an agent, and he takes care of his customers. And I've seen him firsthand do that. And I know he's that way with his realtors that he brought on board that were part of his team and working with them. So I guess I'm most excited to see what you do, Rob, as far as growing your team and growing your business and taking those agents that, maybe they're already good producers, but bringing them up to the next level with you and continuing to helping people grow. Because that's your strength. You're a great leader. You're a great mentor. You've got the knowledge, you've got the know-how and
thank you very much.
Experience. So I think I'm most excited to see you really grow yourself, your team, and everybody with you.
That's all. Well, thank you so much. I'm very, very flattered by that. And I obviously think very, very highly of you and Dan. And it's been awesome watching you guys grow your business from you being entitled and Dan owning a trucking company to now you guys having a really flourishing real estate career. Plus, I know your family, so I know you guys get to do a lot of fun stuff with your kids, and that's more important than anything else. So it's been awesome watching that. So, and I'm a firm believer in like what you put out there becomes reality. So I'm actually already on the hunt for like one, maybe two great agents that that really want to kind of like how you said it, like extend their career, like really, really propel their career and be on a team with some leadership and accountability. But more importantly, just grow the business in a fun way. Like that's what I'm all about now, like having fun in the business, because we're going to head into a marketplace that won't be quite as easy as it is right now. And you got to have fun in that. So
core value fun. We know how to have fun. You guys have probably heard me say it. If you see eXp Realty agents walking around with a smile on our face, that's because we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, I'm so super excited again. And what I think we can all attest to is that now we are on the same path together. I will pitch in and always say you have Jeff and myself and our entire team here, Rob. There's great things on the horizon, and I'm going to challenge you. I know I have icons here with me. Dan and Tanin, you're well on your way. Rob, you'll be an icon.
For sure.
We're looking forward to it.
Yep.
All right, we'll check in soon and let's keep the conversation going. Rob, do you want to share your actually, each of you, please do share your contact information where everyone can get in touch with you.
Sure, definitely. Tanin, I'll let you guys go first.
Well, you can reach out to us at testonteam.com or call Dan at 407-509-0211.
Call Dan.
And then, of course, you can call me at 407-529-9919. And then my email address is easyrob@robwest.net. Super easy to remember.
Awesome, guys. We will talk soon. You have a fantastic day, and thanks all for watching today.
Thanks, Rob. We'll see you guys later.
All right, see you later.